Greetings from our nation's capital. Even though I'm on travel, this video must be made. This is my thoughts on the Sony State of Play, which launched a little earlier today. I thought it sucked. I was actually really disappointed in it, and you guys know me. You guys know I'm a Sony Pony. So I have a little cheat sheet here of going through everything that they covered. Not a lot of surprises here, definitely not of exciting moments. This is definitely no substitute for E3, and I kind of question, why did this need to come out now? First off, they started off with the Untitled Goose Game, which will be coming over. I think that was not a surprise that that's going to be a port. People who already have a Switch most likely have already bought or played this game. But I do understand that there is an audience of people who have no Switch and are excited to get it. I'm excited for it. It's a simple port. It's a very fun game. I think you guys are going to enjoy it, so I think that's okay. Then we jumped into Spellbreak, a game that I have been beta testing for probably 7 months now on PC. It says it's coming out next year. I don't know if it's ready for prime time unless they're going to release it as an early access game. I still have yet to see anything that really differentiates this game from other battle royale games. Obviously, it's with magic, so you're going to be using spells and that sort of thing, but it's very standard in terms of all the other mechanics of other games, minus all of the goofy, zany, season-type stuff that Fortnite does. I think this is just yet another run-of-the-mill battle royale game. I'm not particularly excited for it, but I understand that it may appeal to some people. Next, we got a Dreamz update, which is odd because Media Molecule released a press statement not too long ago talking about their intentions for the upcoming season of Dreamz and, the official launch. Basically, they said that today on the State of Play, they just showed off a handful, and I say handful, a very large handful, probably like 40 of these little mini games. Dreamz is going to be a tough sell for a lot of people because it's not really a game, it's a creating tool set. It'd be like buying Mario Maker without any of the content that Nintendo released, and I understand Nintendo did that back at the original Mario Maker, but also keep in mind that it's Mario. This is a little bit different. I'm sure that people are excited to create and make worlds for this. I think it's something I would be invested in, but I need to see more content before I'm willing to buy into it. I think a lot of these games that you saw are experiences. They're going to be 5 to 10 minutes at most. I think a lot of people are probably going to get burnt out on this game very rapidly, but I hope I'm wrong. Superluminal is one that I am very excited for. This game has been being worked on for what seems like decades. I mean, I think just about everybody has seen the trailer where the guy takes the small chess piece off the board and then drops it and it turns into a giant chess piece. They do now have a single player story wrapped around it, kind of reminiscent of Portal, where you're trapped in this institution trying to get out. There's a lot of scenes in the trailer of you kind of breaking the simulation and trying to get out of whatever bad is happening. So I'm glad that they've finally just taken that basic mechanic and have tried to wrap some story around it. The trailer might have been a bit too revealing, though, on a few things, and I think that may be this game's downfall, that now we know what's going on and it's not good. As where Portal, I think, was a much more exciting experience because we didn't know what was happening until about halfway through. They've kind of already spilled the beans on the trailer, so not 100% sure that that game is going to be phenomenally reviewed or, very exciting in any sense. I'm excited for it, though. I would argue that was probably one of the better things we saw. Next, from the creator of Another World, we have Paper Beast, which it looks like a virtual reality game where you manipulate a paper animal. Looks like you can pick him up by the tail. You can drop sand on the ground to allow him to walk across water. You can drop water on the ground to make the sand slippery. I really liked Another World. That's definitely one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. I have very fond memories of that experience. So as soon as I saw that, my ears perked up because I was like, oh, great, here we go. But doesn't seem to capture quite the magic that Another World captured. And it seems to emphasize the sandbox gameplay, talking a lot about VR. If this is more of Dreamz in that sense, where you're just kind of creating and exploring, definitely not a game for me. We got some Kingdom Hearts DLC. I'm breezing over this. I did not play Kingdom Hearts 3. This this DLC has been largely talked about already, so I'm not really sure why PlayStation gave so much time dedicated to something we already knew that was happening. We saw Predator Hunting Grounds, which looks really bad. I don't know why people haven't learned their lesson from Evolve. That type of asymmetrical gameplay typically does not work. The combat does not look fun. It looked very stiff. The character models reminded me, honestly, of PlayStation 2 graphics. The fact that you're giving away the classic character skin from the Predator movie as a pre-order bonus, I think tells you everything you need to know about this game. Next, we had Babylon's Fall. This game looks phenomenal. I'm very excited for this. Finally got to see some gameplay. Reminds me a lot of Devil May Cry. A lot of juggling, a lot of throwing enemies in the air, pulling enemies towards you. Has a very mythical feel to it as you have these two kind of ethereal swords on your back. Didn't get to see a whole lot of gameplay. It was just more of a teaser at this point, but I think it's going to be one to keep an eye on. Next, we saw that Project Resistance was, in fact, the Resident Evil 3 remake that had been leaked for some time now. It looks phenomenal. I'm about 75% of the way through my first playthrough of the Resident Evil 2 remake, and I loved it. I have not yet played Resident Evil 3 in a similar way that I did not play Resident Evil 2, so it's all new to me. I am very excited for this, and it makes me wonder, is Capcom going to start annualizing these remakes of the Resident Evil series? It's been about a year since Resident Evil 2 to 3. Can we expect 4 or 5? I hope they don't remake 6. Remains to be seen. Then we got into some little bizarre stuff here. The father of PlayStation, Ken Kutaragi, came out to give a special message in honor of the PlayStation 25th anniversary. Did we get any exciting news, any special consoles, any special collector editions, any celebration of anything Sony? No. We got a guy coming out saying that he likes the fact that you still play the Sony PlayStation. It was very bizarre. It didn't really seem to build up any kind of hype for anything leading up to PlayStation 5. There was no special edition release. There was no remaster, no exciting announcement. It just really seemed out of place, and it brought the show, which I thought was already grinding to a halt, definitely to a complete stop. Lastly, they showed us a snippet of some new gameplay of Ghosts of Tsushima, and it looks great. And then we got this corny to be continued at the Game Awards. Yeah, it was just a bad state of play, honestly. I really can't defend it. I can't even try to say. I mean, I did say that there was a few interesting things. I think Babylon's Fall is neat. I'm excited for Resident Evil 3 and Superluminal. Outside of that, I really feel like this was a major letdown. And if this is a state of things to come for Sony's future announcements, I think we should be worried. They need to get back to E3. This is not cutting it. This is not anywhere on the remotely even close to the hype level of what we used to see for the Nintendo Directs. This is just a lot of garbage announcements that are dragged out over a long period of time. And I hope Sony takes this experiment and stops it, or makes it worth watching, because seeing a trailer of a game only to be abruptly cut off and a to be continued does not make this a must-see event by any stretch of the imagination. I'm going to get out there in that frigid cold and go get some dinner. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave some comments below. Let me know your thoughts on State of Play. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.